Well, hey there, everybody. I'm Jack, and this is Raw Tropical Living. Thanks for joining me today. Starting to warm up a little bit, but it got cold last night. So cold, man, I'm hibernating like a bear these days. I can't believe it. I think I slept like 11 hours. Insane, man. Under covers. I leave the heat off in the house. I bury myself under covers, and it's the best sleeping I've ever had. Anyhow, today I want to talk about how to deal with raw food diet skeptics. Guys, I do videos every day, so if you haven't already done it, please go down and hit that red subscribe button now. Then click on the little bell and check send notifications so you'll stay subscribed to the channel. Also too, in the description of all my videos, I've got my website. It's rawtropicalliving.com. That's where the blog is. Go over there and sign up. I'm going to start doing a lot more through the site. I'm working on a couple of pieces right now, but skeptics, what do you do with those raw food diet skeptics? You might not expect the answer I'm going to give. You listen to them and you encourage them to go find out for themselves. I've been skeptical of this lifestyle since day one. I'm probably one of the biggest raw food skeptics out there. And I'll tell you why, and it kind of hurts when people are promoting this lifestyle, the exaggerations. That just ain't me. And that's what has made me more and more skeptical of this diet as I've gone along. I can't get on board with this exaggerate. It cures everything. You know, you chop your arm off, it's going to do this. There's just so much woo-woo in there. Now, I don't mind a little woo-woo, but you know, I like the science behind it. I like to know a little bit too. So, you know, I've gotten lots of good throughout the years, things that other people question people about. I go look at that. You know, we just assume this. How do you get your protein? You know, go find out for yourself. You know, I can't sit here and spit chapter and verse, but basically we've got protein, we've got amino acids in everything we eat. But never get angry with a skeptic. Never get like that. That kind of keeps us in check. Those skeptical voices, well, I've got them in my head. That's a different story, but I've got the skeptic voice in I've got a lot of voices in my head, but since I'm by myself all the time, I'm just dealing with the little skeptic within myself that goes back and forth. I'm constantly questioning myself. I hope, and y'all hold me to it, that I never come to this channel or I never do videos going where, yep, this is it. This is how that you're supposed to do it. I question myself all the time. Even though I'll talk about sometimes in videos, yeah, I'm getting everything I need. Is my diet too narrow? You know, do I need to be eating more variety? Do I need to eat this particular food? Do I need to eat that particular food? And a lot of times, yeah, I feel when I look into this stuff, I find that I fall short. Number one thing, but then let me walk that back a little bit. I don't think anybody's got the perfect nutrition in the world. I mean, there's a lot of areas that I'm not clicking in right now that were just a foregone conclusion in Costa Rica. You know, variety. How are you not? I'm not. You know, as much as I love mangoes and I ate a lot of mangoes in Costa Rica, you're not going to eat just one fruit, bananas and mangoes, when you have abundant pineapple, abundant papaya, meme sapote, all these different fruits. Plus, I had my choice of greens down there. Now, let me say right now, somebody always asks, no, I'm not getting it. I don't do anything organic. I wish I did. I don't have access to it, so, you know. But down there, I had access to a lot more greens. When I would go to my Saturday market, you know, I had 2 different vendors that I went and saw, and there was just like, I had my choice. I could get kale there, I could get spinach there, I could get arugula there, I could get Swiss chard there. What else? I could get any green like 4 or 5 different types of lettuces. So I've been evaluating this stuff lately because, hey, I take it. I listen. I don't ever think, you know, hey, you too big to listen. You know, even though it doesn't bother me, and I know what I'm doing and why I'm doing it. When people ask me this all the time, is that all you eat? Is that all you eat is bananas? Or when I'm in one of my periods where I'm just eating a very limited amount of things. You know, people ask me about that. I get that question all the time. And yes, they're right to a certain extent. One mentality I have, and I don't want it to be like I'm not like living in the future, but I do kind of feel like I'm in a holding pattern. You know, I'm not even really going to argue, not all that terribly concerned that I'm not clicking on all, you know, cylinders here in the States, because I feel like I'm just on a long layover. My place is in the tropics. I became a raw vegan in the tropics, and, you know, I've got some family stuff going on here with my mother. She's a bit older. She's in a nursing home now, and it's just me and her family. But eventually, I'm going to I'm going to return home. I'm going to return home. So I'm just kind of trying to do the best that I can in the meantime. Now, one thing you might say, you might turn the tables though. Well, number one, I talked about this before too. You're not going to be able to handle the skeptics very well as a beginner. Sorry. Until you can start showing the fruits of this lifestyle, until they see some skin, they see your eyes brighter, you've dropped some weight, your skin, you know, everything, you know, you haven't done anything yet. So that is very, very, very important. Once you get the diet going and you start seeing the results, then you can talk to people more effectively. Like I used to tell people, you know, I've had people forever questioning this lifestyle, and they're doing a particular lifestyle, and I'm just very matter of fact about it. I'm like, okay, how many times, like I said, have you been sick last year? Do you feel good every single day? I mean, the general population is used to having stomach problems. If you watch all these antacids and this thing for making you go to the bathroom, this thing for stopping you from going to the bathroom, indigestion, heartburn, most people do not have great digestion. And even if their digestion's good, it's not flawless. I mean, I don't wake up with heartburn, indigestion. You know, some days if I don't get proper hydration, maybe I go to the bathroom later in the day until I start getting hydrated. But no, I mean, you know, it's just, I'll take my chances. That's what I've told people before. I say, well, I'm going to take my chances the way I'm doing it, even if I'm doing it wrong, even if I'm making mistakes. Over 95% of the people I see, their diet, because I've still got a better chance. If you've got that in your shopping cart, I don't give a damn what you say about where you're getting your protein, or too much sugar, this or that. I like my chances a lot more, but that's why I'm not a fully raw vegan. I'm skeptical about things. I have things that I eat that are not raw. I've just found the way that works for me, but I'm happy in my process. And once again, I'm going to go back to the theme that I talk about a lot, is you've got to be in charge of this process. You know, but when you get skeptics, instead of being defensive, instead of, you know, getting your back up and wanting to argue, why don't you say, hey, you know, that's a good question. If you don't know, say, hey, that's a good question. I don't know. I'm going to check this out. And go check it out. Because you need to know. I might know, but you need to know this. Even though you trust it, it's always good to know why. So, yeah, I would thoroughly say with the skeptics, let me make sure I haven't missed anything. Oh, another one too that always bothered me, that you really have to, like, take with a grain of sand. The true believers, if you stumble into a nest of the true believers, the raw food people, they're just floating away. There's too much bullshit over there. Everything's detox, detox, detox. That's why I kind of got tired of even wasting time in Facebook groups, because everything that would happen, hey, I broke my finger, it's at a crooked angle, you're just detoxing. This happens, you're just detoxing. Everything is detoxing, and everything is faulty logic, or just trying to find an answer to something. Never like that whole continuous detox, detox, everything's a detox. I like to keep it simple, and I like to keep it rational. And keeping it rational, that's why I keep myself updated, and I try to read and try to watch videos and stuff more on actually people that eat cooked, because like Dr. Greger and people like that, Caldwell Esselstyn, those kind of educators, that's where I want to learn that science, because that science is more important than anything else. Let's get away from the enzymes and the raw versus cooked, whatever. Plant-based, plant-based. So I always want to know the fundamentals of plant-based. I always want to be questioned on this diet. And even if I don't respond to the person that's a skeptic, because a lot of times it's just a goofball, you know, goofing off, I'll go check those things out. I get a lot of comments on different places that are like, well, what about this? And I'm like, Maybe so. So be a skeptic. I'll finish with this. I'm always a skeptic. I walk into something, I'm that guy that's walking in immediately like, okay, you prove it to me, show it to me. Not so much, well, maybe not so much challenging like that, but I'm just kind of like, all right, let's slow it down and see what's happening with this. So anyhow, that's, I mean, you got to deal with skeptics in your own way. I don't really have to deal with skeptics in my day-to-day. I mean, you know, sometimes I do online, but sometimes I don't even answer because I don't really care to go, you know, search every single little detail. We all do the best we can. We're all trying to get to our best version of health. And hey, it's a process. It's a process for me too. And who knows? It's kind of exciting not knowing where it's going to go. It's like every 6 months I seem to be having different thoughts, different feelings. So anyhow, hope that wasn't just too much of a rambling video for midweek. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. If you like it, please give me a thumbs up. And I'll see you again tomorrow. Peace.